Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Ball. What are you laughing at?
No, I'm just a happy man. We beat the scum.
Fair enough. I am your co-host today, Colly, and I am joined by a very, very happy Big Paddy. Paddy, what's the crack?
Oh, it's the story, man. What a day. We're back, and Liverpool are gone. Klopp, the wheels are coming off, losing the rag and all. We'll talk more about it, but it's fucking great. I love it. They're tired. Their season's over. The team is tired, just like the manager. I love it.
Paddy, I think we both have that same smell, do we? Smells like a semi-final, does it?
Oh yeah, it
Smells good,
does. It
doesn't it?
really does.
Smells
Yeah.
good.
Might do a
And
live stream with that
do
fan.
you know what else I'm smelling? I'm smelling the absence of a certain Liverpool fan as well.
Oh, what's new? He's retired just like Klopp, huh? Retired just he's tired. He's tired. He couldn't make it this week.
Right, Paddy, we're going to be looking at the games, so Chelsea and Leicester and United and Liverpool. We're going to look at the fantasy football. We're going to have a quick little rundown about who's going to win the league. So we're going to have a look at who's got who to play, who he thinks more likely to win the league, and we'll give our opinions on that. And maybe we'll throw one or two things in on the way, but who fucking knows? So, Paddy, we're going to jump straight into the football review. Okay. First game up, Paddy. Chelsea and Leicester. We're gonna save your joy for a bit. Chelsea and Leicester. Chelsea cruising at 2-0, and Chelsea did what Chelsea do best and try their best to fuck it away. An absolute joke of an own goal from Diassi. Everyone's saying, "Oh, Diassi, why is he smashing it back there? Why is Sanchez standing outside the fucking box for one?" I know it should be a fairly straightforward pass back, but he smashed it from the halfway line into his own goal. And you know what? If that was me, I'd probably celebrate it because it's probably the best goal he's ever going to score. But look, Chelsea, they got the job done. Again, it is that thing where I think I said it last week or maybe the week before, that when Chelsea score, they're always the most vulnerable for the next 10, 15 minutes after that. And they're always really fucking lax when they score, which I fucking hate to see, because usually Chelsea were always a team that they'd score and they'd sit back and they defend like fucking like beavers, as some people say. So it's a little bit annoying and frustrating to watch Chelsea. It's annoying and frustrating to watch Chelsea when they go 1-0 up, because it's only a matter of time before they fucking concede again. But look, we got the win, 3-2. The fans, I have to bring this up, gave Raheem Sterling a bit of shit.
I was about to ask.
Yeah, I get it from a fan's frustration side of things, but I hate seeing.
Remind us what happened.
So it's basically he was dog shit. He took the worst panel that you'll probably ever see. Now, the thing about this is, Paddy, right? He takes one of them shit panels where you try to go down the middle, right? But you kind of go off middle and you go slightly to the left, so you're kind of halfway between left and middle. And if the keeper slightly dives the other way, it's a great panel, and everyone goes, "Oh, great panel! He was cool, he was calm." Yeah. This time, the keeper dived the right way and saved it, so it looked like an absolutely terrible panel. But then he also had a free kick just outside the box, so Jackson was running through, and I think it was Doyle took him down, and there was a VAR decision there on whether he was inside or outside the box. Initially, the ref gave a yellow and said it was inside the box, but he turned it over with VAR, gave him a red card and said it was outside the box. Now, this free kick would have been perfect for Palmer, because it's kind of
after or before the penalty.
This was after. So it's on the left-hand side, and the fella on the left, we'll call it the right-hand side of the wall, was so small, and it was just perfect for Cole Palmer to just curl it in top corner. But Raheem Sterling took it, and Paddy, when I'm talking Sunday League, this free kick, I'm talking like worse than Sunday League. He tries to like do this weird Ronaldo side foot, and it just like comes off his toe or something, and it just goes straight up right into the fucking second tier. Like, so the fans gave him a bit of shit. Having said that, he was actually quite effective at certain points. He set up a goal. So I mean, if I'm being honest, I didn't like to see him being booed. I don't like that. But I can understand the frustration from the fans.
Considering where Chelsea have been the last couple of years, the Carling Cup final, FA Cup semi-final, what could be another final for you this year. If he's managed to rope in a couple of points now towards the end of the season and finish maybe in one of the European spots, is that a possibility? And do you think it's somewhat of a successful season for Pochettino?
Again,
Considering where you were last season.
Yeah, I mean, last season, let's be honest, wasn't great either. We still had the bunch of players that we've got now, and we've added even more fresh faces in there. So there's still a lot of players that don't know how each other play. There is still a lot of people that think they deserve spots when they shouldn't. I think Raheem Sterling made a comment at the start of the season. This could be why, again, it's kind of coming back on him a little bit, and people are getting frustrated with him because what he said was that he wanted to be the top scorer for Chelsea this season. Which I fully get that he's saying, I've got the ambition and I want to score as many goals as I can. But when you start making bad decisions and you start not passing to certain players and when you should, and you start missing all these chances, when you start taking penalties off Cole Palmer, who has been taking and scoring all of our penalties.
When you're not the out-and-out striker either, that's a big...
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's why it's frustrating for the fans because it seems like a little bit selfish and it seems like he's not being a team player. Like that's the way it comes off a little bit. So I can understand why people are booing him because they're just fed up with it. Chelsea fans want to see players running, working hard for the team, and they're not really getting it in Sterling. They're kind of getting this kind of selfish player who will only really run to his full potential when he has the ball at his feet. But I don't mind Sterling. He was unbelievable, I thought, at the start. Like the first 10, 15 games, I thought was the best I've seen him playing in the Chelsea shirt. But for some reason, this little greediness has kind of crept into his game, and it's been affecting him. But I think Poch is fine there. I still think he doesn't need time, and I know we always say this with Chelsea, and the Chelsea managers need time. I genuinely do think that they need time for this team to
absolutely. Every manager needs time.
Yeah,
every manager,
especially
when you take a heap of shit like he did. Like it's going to take 3 seasons at least to get his vision of the way he wants the club to be run or played.
Yeah.
But okay, let's look at the next round. You've got Man City, but you've got a Man City that are fighting for the league against Liverpool and Arsenal, and every game is a final there.
Yeah.
You've got them fighting still in the Champions League. So do you think this will be one where they might say, we don't have to put out the full strength squad? There's going to be games coming thick and fast.
It might be a game where they don't have a choice but to play a little bit of their younger lads. Let's be honest, there's a couple of the players that are coming up that are on City that are quite good, like the likes of like Oscar Bob and stuff like that. Like they're all decent players. But this is definitely a game where I think Chelsea can capitalize on City having to rotate that squad. And let's be honest, our Champions League, Premier League, and FA Cup, you're rotating it in the FA Cup. I know it's a semi-final, but like you were saying there, every other game is a final. So you're in the knockout stages of Champions League. You're now pretty much 1 point behind Arsenal and 1 point behind Liverpool. You have to pick up maximum points, and that there's no ways about it. You have to do it. So this FA Cup is kind of. They probably just want to get it out of the way, and they don't really want to.
Second treble.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. That's another thing about it as well. So Pep will have that mindset that he wants to win every game, but is he going to be able to do it with the players he has? He probably will be able to do it, to be honest with you. And what he's bringing in is probably still more proven and better than what we have. But it's definitely an opportunity for Chelsea where I don't think we have to take advantage of it. If we defend like shite, like we have been doing, where we score and we don't set up properly and we sit back and we've been playing out from the back a lot for some reason, and I don't get it because we've done it 5 or 6 times against can't remember who it was 2 weeks ago. 5 out of the 6 times we lost possession of the ball. We either got dispossessed in kind of the little number 6 area, or else we ended up launching it and the defender wins a header and knocks it down, and we're on the counter as well. So we need to be smarter on what we do. I'm not saying that we don't have the ability to do it, but we just, to be honest with you, we don't at the moment. We don't have the.
No, but if you're playing it long like that, you need to have the commitment to win that second ball.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I don't think they do at the time.
No, they don't. No, they don't. But at the end of the day, like Jackson isn't a bad target man to be hitting that ball up. That he actually holds the ball quite well. But what I'd like to just say is a bit of support for him. So like everybody else will have to push up. If you're going to just be hitting it to one player up top, it's pointless. So they're stuck in between trying to play it out from the back, getting caught, and then trying to launch the ball when they can't play it out to one person, and it just gives back possession. So both ways you lose possession. So I think that has to be looked at by Poch, and that is a tactical thing that should be corrected. And in fairness, after we done it five or six times, Poch eventually said, right, let's stop playing out from the back, and he actually fucking started taking goal kicks properly. Like, so, and the worst thing was that when we were doing it, there were 6 players sitting there waiting. I counted them, how many I could see in the screen, ready to attack. There was 6 players. Like, so I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, there's no benefit of doing this. Like, it didn't make sense. But like you're saying, the whole thing with Poch, I'm a big fan. Needs time. City, I think, they're for the taking. Hopefully, I don't know whether we will take them or not, because we're probably not that good. But yeah, I'm optimistic going into the semi and see us in the final.
I think you just have a better chance this season than you would have last season. I don't know what it is. I just don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think City, even though they're grinding results, and they really are, they're just grinding. They're not playing as well as they did last season. I don't think.
No.
Or like maybe they just haven't hit that 5th gear yet. But there just seems to be something that's not quite right. I seen it against Liverpool. Like, Liverpool for large parts of that game, really put the pressure on. But anything can happen. Semi-final. Is it in Wembley?
It's in Wembley, yep. In Wembley.
In Wembley as well, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a good day out. Good day out. And when are the semi-finals, do we know?
Oh, I had I think it's is it the 20th of April? Possibly? No, it wouldn't be that late. Let me see. I could possibly pull it up here. FA Cup semi-finals. It is the 20th of April, yeah.
Oh, lovely.
So 20th of April, yeah. Not ideal for City. Not ideal for City that time, and coming up to crunch time in the season, last couple of games. Like that's where it'll be.
Yeah.
Although if they get knocked out of the Champions League by then, because I think they would have to be before that. That's when they can kind of go, all right, now we have a bit of fresher legs, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll see. But overall, Paddy, happy. Like I said, we got lucky, I suppose, with the. I have 3-2 down, and it was 4-2. For the record, Madueke, whose goal I was almost forgetting there, was an unbelievable individual goal. And I think, again, going back to the Sterling thing, I think when you've got players like that who are slightly shown this kind of bit of quality, but they're young. The likes of Mudryk did it 2 weeks ago when he got that goal through on goal. And then you have Raheem Sterling, who's the older kind of player, and he's doing this stupid stuff. You kind of get the fans going, oh, I want to see Mudryk week in, week out. How's he going to improve? I want to see Madueke week in, week out. I want to see all these young players that have this massive bag of potential. And then we're getting frustrated with Sterling. So I think that's where everything comes from as well. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, happy enough we got there. But we need to fucking sort the defense out.
I think Sterling has been a frustration since you signed him, hasn't he, really? He's never really got to the same heights as he was at Man City.
Even at City, because my dad and my brother are Manchester City fans. Even at their kind of level, he was, they were always the two, like, frustrating. And every time we have a little WhatsApp group, obviously, every time there was a match on, brother and me dad, Raheem Sterling, fuck's sake, Raheem Sterling, Jesus, dog shit. Like, and you always see that, because he is one of the most frustrating players. Yeah. He's got so much talent when he's on the ball. He's running at players, he goes by players. And then it comes to the stupid thing, like a 2-yard pass or 5-yard pass, a wrong decision. Like, he's so frustrating. That's the frustrating side of him. But other than that, I actually don't mind him. Right, anything else to grill me on Chelsea?
No, I think it'd be good to review maybe in the next podcast. Not sure if we're on next week because of the international break, but the next time we're on, just review the games around those semis, see who has what in terms of the Man City game, because I suppose if they have a big Premier League game, it might give us more hope, and I suppose we've got Coventry, so don't want to count me chickens, but
Right here we're going to move on to the next one, which was the Manchester United versus Liverpool game. Paddy, this one finished 4-3 in extra time. Talk us through this game. I said I was playing golf, so I missed a lot of this game, but if you could tell me what happened in it.
Yeah, okay. So I suppose after the City game a couple of weeks ago, we scored early, and I did think to myself, is this going to be, we blew our load and we're going to tire out. Liverpool will get, holding the game like they usually do when they just come back and they'll beat us. But first 25 minutes, half an hour, we controlled the game. We were the much better team. And then Liverpool start coming back into it. and we gave away 2 stupid goals towards the end of the first half. One was a deflection, and one was Mohamed Salah in the middle. He hit the post, but again, just poor defending. We switched off, and it's just something that United need to work on a bit more. But the first 30 minutes, great play. Second half, Liverpool probably overall were the stronger team, but we did get the goals we needed in terms of the comebacks. It was 2-2, then 3-2, and then 3-3. And then we went into extra time then, and it was just what a game. Like, for the neutral, I had like neutral supporters texting me through the whole thing. No worse feeling to lose a game like that in the last minute of injury time. No better feeling. And I mean, it's the first time I've seen Klopp that haggard looking. Like that. Did you see the interview where he abused some reporter?
No.
Did you know?
No.
He asked him, the reporter said something like, usually if such a high intensity game, what was the reason and why you just couldn't do that this game? And he pretty much said, you're stupid. That's a stupid question. I'm not answering this stuff. And he walked off, but his hair was all messed and he looked in bits like.
Paddy, you're talking to the king of losing in extra time. Chelsea got beaten in extra time in the Carling Cup final. So
I do think the level of intensity Liverpool have been playing at that final against Man City a few weeks ago, and now I think that game against United was just one step too far in terms of, because they were talking about Klopp's kids, blah blah blah, but you're not going to win leagues. You're not going to win the big stuff with them, and you're not going to get the consistency out of them that you need to win big things. I don't see. I think the inexperience came in yesterday. He made the same changes that he's made a couple of weeks before, but they just didn't work, and their legs went in injury time. And I think it always looked, even with a 3-3, you could just tell something was in the air at Old Trafford. The crowd were bouncing, and I think the team deserved it, and I think Ten Hag deserved it because he made some bold decisions in terms of the changes, and it was just a good day all round, really. Yeah.
One thing I need to ask about, and I don't know if you've seen this, but have you seen Anthony's reaction to being told that he has to play left back?
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Well, it's funny now. If we had a lost,
and
he didn't score, but he scored as well, and I suppose he scored, and then he's being told to go left back. You can kind of understand that as well. Like,
the weird one that I can get players get frustrated. That's fine, but where he's doing all these gestures of like saying like, oh, he's gone crazy doing all this and all, like it looks terrible. It does, like, for like the harmony of the dressing room, like to me, if I was a fan of United and I see that, I'm saying to myself, right, is Ten Hag starting to lose the dressing room a little bit because we're not doing as good as we should have done, and then we're seeing players complaining like that?
I look more at the situation Anthony has been in. He hasn't been scoring. He hasn't been playing much. He gets the goal against Liverpool. He's up. The crowd are going. His emotions are high. Right, going back to left back there. And he's like, oh, and he's probably shitting himself as well, because he's probably thinking to himself, fuck this. Like, if I cause a goal here, look, they're human beings as well. I think overall, look, it was fine. It ended up being fine. I think it's something of nothing. Because he is one of Ten Hag's men, and I think he's been very loyal in terms of being quiet when he hasn't been getting played. You see Christian Eriksen coming out this week saying that he's not happy, but not in a vindictive kind of way, just saying, look, I'm not playing enough. I want to play more games. So you could say, look, everything could be overanalyzed to death, but I personally wouldn't look too much into that now.
Paddy, thoughts on Diallo getting that second yellow card? Look, I know it's the rules are rules and all that shite, but like, come on, like, last minute of injury time, he's after scoring the winner to put his team into the semi-final against Liverpool, one of the biggest rivals. He takes his top off out of pure celebration and joy, and he gets another yellow card. Stupid
rule, but you can't blame the referee, because the one thing you give out about the refs and the VAR is consistency. They have to be consistent. And that's just the rule of the game. Now, they should change that rule in the game. But, it's true. But then if they change it, then you're going to have every fucking Egypt showing their six-packs off.
I know,
My
make you
missus will
jealous.
start want to watch the games and all that. She will.
Yeah.
And then I'll stop watching them then.
Paddy, so overall for you, Ten Hag, how has he performed this season? Has he met expectations? Has he been underperformed, or what do you think?
I think he's been incredibly unlucky with injuries, but I can't be hypocritical here and talk about United's injuries when I was giving out about Liverpool last season, saying, "Oh, is that to do with the physio departments? Blah blah blah." I was giving them shit. Is that poor management? Overplaying them. So
It's a
I
little bit
kind
for
of have
Connor
to.
though as well, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
So I could look. He's been incredibly unlucky with injuries this season. Very, very unlucky. We haven't been able to get our full strength squad out there. We're starting to get a few players back now the last couple of weeks. There's a little bit more consistency there. I not for once this season have I thought to myself, Ten Hag out. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No way. No fucking way. Even if we were mid-table, I would say, look, I always go back to, it's like it took Alex Ferguson 6 or 7 years to win the league.
Yeah.
And like we were like at one stage we finished like below mid-table and stuff. Like, he had some shocking results. Imagine they had sacked him. Like, I think.
So what you're saying is that Pochettino actually has the potential to be as good as Fergie. That's what I'm hearing.
I think Pochettino has the potential with the backing he has at Chelsea to do really, really special things. Because I've always backed Pochettino. I always have. I think what it could be, because I see Pep leaving Man City in the next couple of years, and it could be then a dominance of Chelsea and United.
Yeah,
in a couple of years.
But I would say I wouldn't. I'm gonna obviously people go, oh yeah, sport Chelsea. I do agree with the Chelsea side of it, but the United side of it, I would agree only if they start getting investments in terms of players from Radcliffe. So he's gonna say we need to spend and we need to buy players, because I still do think that you have a lot of players that you need to replace.
No, I don't think so.
Not think so.
No.
Like in terms of like 4 or 5 years time.
In 4 or 5 years time, yeah, but that's just the natural cycle of a team. But he will do that. But there's no, like, the only probably positions now, I'd say centre back and striker. We need.
Yeah.
But like, other than that, like if we left, like we haven't had a left back all season because they've all been injured. We start getting them back there, and we let Reguilon go back from his loan, and then we got injured again. So we've no left back. Wan-Bissaka, I think it was the first time I've seen him all season yesterday. So we've only had Dalot as a recognised first team.
And do you think they're like them players? They're up to the standard of Manchester United?
Oh yeah, Dalot is. I think Dalot will be United's right back for the next 5-10 years. Shaw obviously needs to be changed, but I think Malaysia, who was brought in as backup for him as a young player, can be good. Kobe Manu, I think he's going to be a beast of a player.
He's very good.
He's unbelievable.
Good.
Yeah. Garnacho is going to be brilliant. Going forward, I think Rashford can improve. Hoyland up front, I think, is good. Martinez at the back. So if you look at that, we do have a spine there of good young talent. I would think that we need a couple of experienced players brought in. Again, the striking position, we need back up there, absolutely. But I don't think we need a complete rebuild or anything like that. Absolutely not. A couple of sides over the next 3 or 4 windows, we could easily get that squad to, Premier League winning capabilities.
Thoughts on Onana?
Yeah, he's improving all the time. I think, again, he's been behind a very poor defense because it's been so inconsistent. Like, you can't get the same 4 players in front of him to form some sort of a relationship. The best defenses you've ever seen in the Premier League have been a consistent 4 in front of the goalkeeper, where they all know what they're all doing all the time. And he just hasn't had that since he came in. So like he's had a tough time. He's like second in goal clean sheets. I think it's 8, him and Pickford. And then I can't remember who's the top one.
Yeah, he is quite high in terms of like I think like saves per game and all this stuff.
He's been conceding like 20 shots a game or something. Like, it's ridiculous how bad our defense is. Leaky.
Anything else you'd like to add on to this game, Paddy?
No, I do think it raises a couple of questions about Liverpool's capabilities of making it to the end of the season. And I mean, I seen, like, when I seen them in extra time yesterday, they looked tired. And I mean, bollocks tired. Now they've still got the Europa League, they've still got the Premier League, Europa League Thursday, then the Premier League on the weekends.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I can see them falling out of the Premier League race.
Speaking of that, Paddy, I think it's a good little segue into kind of looking at that Premier League. I'm going to just jump. I'm going to take that little graphic off the screen. Jumping in and looking at the kind of the fixtures coming up for the rest of the season. We'll run through City, Liverpool, and Arsenal's fixtures just to see who we think has the hardest fixture list. So we look at Manchester City's games that they have coming up for the rest of the season. So their next game is against Arsenal.
We can't put them up on the screen, can we?
I can share the screen, yeah. One sec. Now this is off live score, so I don't know how it'll look, but let me see. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So Man City and Arsenal, that's the next game. Big advantage to Man City, obviously, being at home. So Arsenal's the next game. They've got Aston Villa, who are, again, like I said, they're challenging for top four. I don't know whether they have the talent to get top four, but
I think they're running out of gas as well.
I think so, yeah. I agree with you on that one. Crystal Palace, who I think that should be an easy enough win. Obviously, then they have Real Madrid launched in between that. Then they've got Luton, again, a handy one, where they that's a great game to have in between the two Madrid games. You can kind of rest, do a little bit of rotation. Then they've got Chelsea, which is the semi-final. That's the semi-final. So that's not the Premier League.
They could be fucking Real Madrid with the second leg of Real Madrid. See, I think a big thing there depends on how they do in the first leg against Real Madrid.
Yeah,
if they're chasing a game, they're going to be bollocks by the time the 20th comes around.
So that's what I'm hoping. I actually want to see City go far in the Champions League. I won't lie. I do like Man City. I don't have anything against them. So Chelsea, I'm only saying that because we beat them in the Champions League final. If they had beaten us, I would have fucking hated them. But right, so then they have the Chelsea in the semi-final. Then they've got Nottingham Forest. So their final four games is Forest, Wolves, Fulham, and West Ham.
Oh, handy.
All pretty winnable games. Like,
yeah,
it's getting through that little section there. That April is going to be really tough for them.
Yeah. And right, so Notts Forest will be in the relegation battle, but Wolves, Fulham, West Ham. Are they really like relegation contenders? I don't think so.
No, not particularly.
They'll be gone on their holidays.
So, like, look, really, realistically, the only ones that are really there is Forest. You're going to have to call Burnley as well. Burnley are 4 or 5 points off it, so Burnley are still.
So Forest, there. Luton, and Everton are the ones you kind of.
And you have to pull Brentford into it as well. You have to pull them into it. Palace are in danger of getting into that, but they should pick up another couple of points there. So I don't see them being too much of an issue. Sorry. So that's Man City. Let's have a look at Liverpool's games just to see what they've got going on. So they've got Brighton for their next game, which they should win at home. Then Sheffield United. That's the cup. What cup is that? What game is that?
No, it's not cup. It's Premier League. Should there be no other cup now?
Oh,
they're only in the Europa League.
Where is Sheffield actually? Rock bottom. Okay, yeah, that's a handy one. Sorry, that's the league game. Liverpool and United. That's a league game.
That's a league game, yeah. It is, yeah. And
that's Old Trafford.
And Old Trafford again. That's a big one. That's a big
thing about that is, Paddy, I always see that in the cup games, when the team beats the other team, I'm always like, right, that's just fuel and energy for them to kind of give them a kick up the bollocks and get a bit of payback. Like,
well, United are still getting over that 7-0 from last season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's like, and the crowd are going to be hopping for
and just the feel for United fans of like, this is our moment to fuck up Liverpool season, like, isn't it? That's
because it's going to be down to one loss.
Yeah, I think so.
By one of the teams, it really is, and they'll be out of it then.
Yeah. So then they have Atlanta in the Europa. Then they play Palace in between, which should be a handy enough game for them. Atlanta again. Then they've got Fulham away, handy game. West Ham. This is the dodgy one for them, probably towards the end. Spurs Now they're at home, so it's a big advantage to be at home, but Spurs aren't going to be a walkover, I don't think. Spurs will still want to, if it's not Arsenal running away with the league, I think Spurs will still want to put their name and their stamp on the season just to say, oh, we would have won.
They'll still be going for Champions League.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. So there's going to be a bit of kind of motivation for Spurs as well. Villa, again, like we're saying, we think they're falling off at the moment. We'll see how that one goes. Yeah, that's the thing as well. So they're not too bad, I don't think, in Villa Park. So that might be a tricky enough game. And then the last game of the season is Wolves, which will be
nerves. Wolves, and I actually seen a stat last week that it was something like 7 of the 8 Premier League teams that have been fighting on the last day of the season to win the league and played at Wolves have always finished second.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Right, well, we'll look at Arsenal's game and see who they've got. So
I think so far,
it's hard to call.
Liverpool's slightly more favourable, slightly, but I think City have an easier run in.
Yeah, at the last 4 games, it's that April period where they have Real Madrid, Luton, Real Madrid, Chelsea. That's going to be a tough one for them.
And then after that, but then none of them once they get through Luton, we're only talking about Premier League here.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but I suppose we do have to take into account the other games. I know we're looking at who they're playing, but we have to think of tired legs during all that as well. We do have to kind of take it into consideration. Right, here's Arsenal's fixtures. So obviously they've got City next, which is going to be, again, that's a 6-pointer. Then they have a handy one for against Luton. Then Brighton. Then Champions League, again, they have this difficult April period. They've got
Brighton will be a tough game for them.
Yeah, Brighton will be a tough game away. And then they go into the Bayern Munich game at home. And then they've got Aston Villa at home, which is, again, Aston Villa, not going to be an easy game. We're saying they're falling off again, but still not going to be an easy game. Yeah. Bayern Munich are going to probably bash them at home. So they might be chasing around a lot. Then they've got Wolves. And then again, they've got Spurs. So Spurs, massive rivals to Arsenal. They're going to want to seriously beat them on this one. Then they've got Bournemouth, then United, and then Arsenal.
In Old Trafford.
Yeah. So
United could have a big say on where the Premier League goes this season.
Yeah. I don't fancy Arsenal's chances, if I'm being honest.
They look like they had the hardest run in.
Yeah.
Looking at that.
I don't think they have the best run of fixtures there. Just because
Everton last game of the season, you can just see them bottling it there.
Yeah.
Everton needing points, Sean Dyche.
Yeah, so that's and if we kind of call it at that 1 point, like I said, the City Arsenal game is going to be massive. And then if City can get through that April period, I think should be City's.
I think all in all, I think City look like the strongest to win it.
Yeah.
They do. I think they have, Liverpool and City's run in are comparable, fairly comparable. I think Arsenal's are slightly tougher, considering their Bayern Munich Champions League as well. I think
the one thing I would say is, sorry, Paddy, the one thing I would say about them being quite comparable, but the only difference might be I think City may have the better squad depth in terms of just who they've got coming on.
Well, this is the Champions League semi-finals or quarterfinals?
Quarters, yeah.
Quarters, yeah. Same as. So, see, they're all in the same position in terms of European football as well.
Yeah,
because they'll all be fighting to get to the finals. So it might come down to as well if, say, Arsenal get knocked out in the next round against Bayern Munich, they have a clear run. Then they don't have no semi-final.
It's true.
Because actually I didn't think of that. You've got to throw 2-legged semi-final and a final in there.
It's true.
Into those final games as well if they haven't got through. So.
And if one team doesn't get there, it becomes kind of an advantage. Although you've lost out on the Champions League, it becomes an advantage. I don't think Arsenal maybe favour.
Arsenal, I'd say Arsenal would throw the Champions League away right now.
Yeah,
for the league. Well, I would.
I don't know, because Arsenal have won the league before, but they've never won the Champions League. So, is it that thing? Do you remember when City were winning the league for so long and they just wanted that Champions League and everybody thought Chelsea was the year that they were going to get it?
And they did 20 years or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
It's
we
a
all
tough one.
know, I think the best team in the country are the team that win the league, irrespective of in the Champions League.
Yeah.
They are.
Okay, Paddy. Well, that was a good little look at what's happening and what's coming up in the for the rest of the season. So I think we'll jump off
Can I
that
just
and we'll jump.
we'll just
Go on.
just before we do, can I ask
Yeah.
you about, like, to Pete, you didn't see it, but do you think Liverpool have the legs to get through the season? The squad depth, you touched on it there a little while ago.
I think they have decent players there, but I do think they've got, probably when you look at their bench each week, they've probably got one maybe two max solid substitutes coming on. Like they do have a couple of injuries. Let's see if we can actually get the injury list on who they have at the moment. A lot of players are pretty much back, but in terms of squad depth, I do think that City are a little bit better than them. But yeah, it kind of depends on who gets the luck with injuries. If somebody's going to pick up, like if City, for instance, lose the likes of a Haaland, or even I think the likes of a fucking Phil Foden could be catastrophic for them. Like,
Yeah.
And then it comes to Liverpool. Does Salah get injured? He rarely does, but if it happens, and then you have Jota if he gets injured, so there's a lot of players that like can make or break a season. I would be surprised. I would like to see everybody staying fit from now to the end of the season, and I want to see a fair run in. I want to see a good ending to the season. I don't want anybody being able to blame injuries. I would like to just see the best team winning it, and that's it. It would kill me if Liverpool win it because I have to listen to them all the time. But
they're not going to win it.
I'll hold my hands up if they win it. They win it. Fair play to them.
Yeah, look, they can all replay this back to me at the end of the season if they do win it. But I think I'm that confident that I don't think they have what it takes to win it. I'll be honest with you, and you can take that to the bank, because look, they won the COVID League. They haven't been able to overthrow City since, and now they have Arsenal in the mix as well. And look, I just want to mention as well, Klopp saying he's tired now after 8 years or 9 years or something. Like, we had Alex Ferguson there, was 28 years, like God knows how many trophies, and he's tired. Oh, I'm tired. Get it about, will you?
I guarantee you, right? I guarantee you give him 6 months off and he'd be fucking chomping at the bit trying to get back.
Yeah,
100%. I think he's just. It's probably a very intense club to manage, Liverpool. Like the expectations there, like that. He's after setting. In fairness, he's built them up to a standard, and to be able to try keep that standard. Pep Guardiola's doing it. He's not tired.
no.
But he's really after setting a good standard. And to be fair, the next manager that comes in has a fucking hell of a job on his hands, because I don't think what they're walking into, it's nearly a poison chalice, I think. And you're looking at the likes of Alonso. Yeah, he's doing great with Leverkusen, but I don't know. You bring him into Liverpool, I don't know if he gets the same reaction out of them players.
Yeah, and look, they could be playing each other in the Europa League final as well.
Yeah.
And imagine Alonso beats Liverpool Europa League final, and then here's your new manager. The players will fucking hate him. Hate him.
Comes in with the medal and all.
like when Ferguson left, they just won the league, and people say, "Oh, it was a bad squad and all that," but we won the league by like 12 points or something like that. It was ridiculous. Next manager comes in, players just didn't like him. It just didn't work.
And
out, yeah. I think Klopp is a figure at Liverpool similar to what Ferguson was at United in terms of all-encompassing. He is the club. Klopp is Liverpool at the moment. So when he leaves, someone is going to have to fill those boots, and it's going to be a tough job.
Can I ask you, Paddy, right? Liverpool, did he build a Klopp statue outside, or is that a bit much?
A flop statue, a big flop.
I'm just saying, like, I know they love him and all, and look, let's be honest, he's a fucking great character, great manager. He's won one league title.
He's won since he came in. Okay, since he came in, a bit of a stat for you. He's won 7 major trophies.
Okay.
Since when did he come in? 2012 or something like that.
Later than that, I think, was it probably
14
or so. Maths isn't very good.
Yeah, and like United through their worst spell through the same amount of time have won like 4 major trophies. No,
it's not really. It's not really fucking at the right home though, is it? It's just like
it's not like they're talking about him being the greatest Liverpool manager of all time, which I think is disrespectful to the Shankleys and the Dalgliches, who helped win part of their 19 league titles that they've won. You know, like Klopp has contributed 1 league title to that history that they love going on about.
With an asterisk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. exactly.
All right. We've trolled enough. I think we better jump off Liverpool. We've bashed them enough. It's great having
So the amount of phones and fucking cars being smashed and everything now. Listen to this shit.
It's great not having any fucking bounce back off Connor where he just puts a fact out and we're just like, oh fuck, all right, yeah. So it's great. We're just saying what we want. Paddy, we're gonna jump off that. We're gonna go into the fantasy football. Right, Paddy, we'll have a quick run through this one. A bit of a shitty game week because there was only 4 matches or something. So, I played me free hit.
So let's see.
Oh, 38 points. Look at that. 3 times the average, which was only 12 points. So I played me free hit. 38 points. Leno and goal. Leno with 7 points. Kufal, 7 points. O'Shea, 2 points. Digne, 1 point. Madison, 2 points. Wrong captain choice, Son. Nobody was expecting that spanking they got off Fulham.
No.
Ward-Prowse, 1 point. Kulusevski, 2 points. Morris, 2 points. Fofana, 8 points. He was on loan from Chelsea. And 2 points for Ollie Watkins. And I had Pow on the bench, Chukwuemeka and Taylor. So, yeah, a good week. Like I said, that result right there, Fulham 3, Spurs 0. Nobody expected that. Right, Paddy, we'll go on to Connor's team because he is second in the league. Connor had 19 points now. If my mind serves me well, I'm pretty sure he didn't change it and he forgot. So he had Areola in goal, Kufal, he had Simicast didn't play, Walker didn't play, Elanga 2 points, Saka didn't play, Salah didn't play, Son captain, he got 4 points, Parma didn't play, he had Watkins and Raul Jimenez. So yeah, that was a poor performance from him.
So he forgot. He forgot, yeah. Right? Yeah, and remember that, and he got 19 points. I went on to. I got 19 as well, but I went on to fucking the fantasy football website and they recommended do this team. This is the team to do now for this week with the free hit and all. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking clean up here. And then fucking 19 points as well. So Flecken, they never heard of any of these players are at 2 points. Pedro Porro, 1 point. Collins, Doherty, 1. Bowen, 2. Son, 4. Kudos, 1. Madison, 2. Tony, 1. Morris, 2. And Watkins, 2. Pitiful.
Nothing on the bench
for my subs.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of them weeks. It was just like it was hitting hope really. Like everybody, I know personally, I backed Spurs and I put the whole Spurs midfield. I thought they were going to spank them, but they didn't. Everybody, I suppose, was expecting the likes of Watkins to score and stuff like that, but it just didn't happen. I thought Fofana, bringing in Fofana for me was a great show. Look, don't mean to blow my own trumpet, but 2-2. We'll have a look at the overall league table here, Paddy, to see who's leading it. I can't remember who it was last week, but this week it is Tony Tam. Again, there's an asterisk on Tony Tam because he's got 2 teams in there. So, it's shenanigans. So Tony Tam with Spawn United is top with 18-20. Unless Tony Tam has a brother also called Tony Tam. Ross Cuddy is 21 points behind with 17.99. Keelan Brennan is 3rd, Chris Scully 4th, Adam Doyle 5th, Mark Lynch 6th, Dean Fletcher 7th, Jay Daly 8th, Jamie Perry 9th, and Ray Perry is in 10th. And there's Tony Tam in 11th. To be fair play to him. The 2 teams he has got in it are doing very well. So fair play, even if you are fucking cheating. Right, that's that. Paddy, we're touching on something very, very lightly. The internationals obviously is this week. We don't really cover internationals. We don't particularly like them. We prefer to watch fucking proper football. But I don't know about you, but I am a little bit more excited now that it's not Stephen Kenny in charge. I know we've made a fucking, I don't know why, but we've made a decision to bring in John O'Shea for 2 games. And like, whatever, I'm behind them. Yeah, fair play to you, John. Great player. But I don't know. I don't know what we do. I don't know why we've done it, but I don't know. What's your thoughts on this? It doesn't seem to be a plan going forward for Ireland, and they don't seem to be able to get people in to manage.
What was the thought process behind John O'Shea? Like, has he had any experience?
He has been coaching. Yeah, he has been coaching. He was with the under-21s, I believe. And he went over to, was it wasn't Birmingham. It was somebody in the UK, and he's been doing some coaching over there as well, if I'm not mistaken. So he has got a little bit of experience in terms of like coaching and being involved in the managerial setup. But it's weird.
It is weird. But the one thing is that he will have the respect of the players for the career he had as a footballer.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that he will have. I'm sure he'll have the likability factor. So you could get a bit of a bounce in terms of, just the players having a, wanting to play for the manager. Yeah. Steve Kenny came in, League of Ireland manager. It was a bit of a step there. You're looking at the other international teams around, and then you're looking at my man, Stephen Kenny, and it wasn't a great look. But with the finances around the Irish camp as well now, there's no rumblings of anybody else coming in. I could see maybe a Roy Keane or something, maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, like Roy Keane is not a bad shout. The only reason is because he's looking to get back into it, and no one is really willing to take a chance on him. So that means your price is going to have to be lower. Like, you have the likes of Chris Hughton as well, who got sacked from Ghana manager. But like, I don't mind him coming in. He's not a bad manager. I mean, he's got a decent enough experience, so I don't mind that. Like the likes of like fucking Big Sam. I was chatting to one of the guys that I know from online, Jonathan Morley. I was chatting to him, and he was saying that he was speaking to Big Sam because he was at an event with him, and he said that he wasn't interested in it. So that was a bit of a shame. I would have loved to see fucking Big Sam there.
Yeah.
Lee Carsley, I think, has wrote himself out with it as well. Obviously with the England under-21s, they won the under-21s Euros or whatever it was. Damien Duff is being talked about now as well because he's doing so well with Shells. I think they're top of the League of Ireland now at the moment. I mean, it's the same thing with it's fucking how do you say, like, same thing really, like with John O'Shea, Damien Duff, because both kind of, the only thing I would say is Damien Duff has managerial experience, whereas John O'Shea is like more kind of backroom staff experience. Again, he's only on League of Ireland. He's only doing League of Ireland, so I don't know. But the respect for their careers is definitely there. Yeah. And that's where I think that the
international and club careers, they've played at big clubs, they've won big trophies.
Yeah.
And they've done well with the Irish team, they've gotten to the latter stages of big tournaments.
Yeah.
So do you know what it takes? Has Stephen Kenny been involved in any of those type of things? I think not.
No, so, don't think so. But I do want to I mean, I always get abused because I've always kind of said that from the start. I didn't think Stephen Kenny was the right man for the job because he kind of got it by default, where he came in as the under-21s and he was going to be taken over from Mick McCarthy regardless of how he done. So I didn't like that appointment anyway. And then when the results weren't coming in, I was like, right, I really jumped on the fucking get him out. And I really did hurt a lot of people's feelings in terms of like diehard League of Ireland fans who just wanted it to work. They really did want it to work. And I get it because he's one of your own. He's proved himself at a League of Ireland level.
He loved the job. He was so proud to be Ireland manager. Yeah. So you did only want to see him succeed.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the FAI damaged him because they allowed him to stay in the position for so long, and they should have took him out probably a little bit earlier than they actually did.
Yeah, and it's look at it, and again, like you just brought up there a minute ago, it is all financials. The FAI are really struggling financially, so they need to. Like, I would love fucking Conor McGregor or something like that to come in and just go, here's fucking 5 million, go and get us the best manager we can get. Jose Mourinho's free. He loves a bit of cash. Give him fucking 5 million and see what he can do here. Do you know what I mean? We'd love some big investor to come in, and I'm sure it's not that straightforward. I'm sure there is fucking a lot of roadblocks and taxes and all that type of shit that you'd have to pay. But that's what I'd love to see. Just an investment in from somebody who would say, here's money for a decent manager. Let's be honest, we're not going to get the likes of Jose Mourinho. It's going to be someone like a Chris Hughton or a Roy Keane or something to that level. But that's if we can fucking go and we can convince them to get it. Everybody that I'm hearing that's going for interviews says they don't want it after. Gus Poyet was another one that threw his name in the hat to say that he wanted it. And apparently they had a meeting with him, and after the meeting he said no. So we're fucking up these interviews and we're doing something wrong. But I'm excited for the next two games because like that kind of fire has been reignited now that Stephen Kenny's gone. And look, we probably will lose these two games anyway, but it's a new chapter. It's a new chapter in
No, it's exciting to think that, because it is always nice when you get a new manager bounce. I don't like this interim jobby shit. I now want these 2 games just out of the way and them to announce a full-time Ireland manager so we can, start planning for the next tournaments.
Yeah, exactly. I'll move on. Right, Paddy, we'll move off that. I think that's pretty much everything. I don't think we've anything else to touch on. We've gone for a solid 50 minutes there. If you are watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, make sure you hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. You can get us on TikTok as well. So go over and give us a follow on that. All of our socials should be linked there. Go on to Instagram. We're on Instagram. If you have been watching or listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can go over to YouTube and watch it as well, because we do have everything up on the screen and stuff like that. So make sure you hit follow, rate us 5 stars as well. We'd appreciate it. But that's it, Paddy. It's been a pleasure. We probably will be back next week, maybe. We'll see. We'll make an announcement during the week. So look, Paddy, thanks for joining me this week.
Thanks, Colly, and just to all this sour Liverpool fans, up your bollocks.
Right, we will probably be back next week at Tuesday at 8:30, same time. So we'll see everybody next week.